Welcome, everybody. My name is Craig Booth. I'm the founder and principal of Channel Force Incorporated, and I am the host of the Channel Minute podcast / blog. And with me today, I have a very special guest, Jen Waltz. Jen, if you'll do me a favor, do a quick introduction of who you are, that would be great.
Absolutely. First and foremost, Craig, it's a pleasure to be with you today. As I look at you as an industry titan in the channel. And so it is truly an honor and a privilege to share some time with you today and also make sure people know about revenue revolution and also some of the core metrics that are, that will help channel leaders be more successful, including myself. So I'm Jen Waltz. I am the Vice President of Global Alternate Channels for Crone Technologies. Crone Technologies has been in business about 20 years, and we focus on cybersecurity solutions, specifically how we help privileged users stay protected and making sure that environments, we are mitigating any type of insider risk or leakage or any type of insider threat to key privileged data like HR, finance, and also company trade secrets. And so it's a pleasure to be with you this morning, Craig.
Yeah, Jen, always a pleasure being with you. So before we actually jump in, I've got a couple of quick things to say about Jen for our audience. So first and foremost, you are one of the most genuine and warm people I have ever worked with. Like, I love connecting with you. I think you have a natural gift of being able to connect with people, put people at ease, make people feel really, really comfortable. So it is just really a blessing for me to be associated with you and to be, engaged with you on so many fronts. So thank you for everything you've done for me. And as a matter of fact, the book that we just released, The Partner-Powered Revenue Revolution, the title was actually titled by you, Jen. You actually came up with that title. So Jen's been a huge part of the book and all the things that we're out doing today. So I want to just personally thank you for that. And again, you really are a special person to connect with. So jumping in again, this is the book. The book just came out yesterday, as a matter of fact. It's available on Amazon. So for anybody that is interested, we've got a different way of sort of approaching the channel that's really next gen. So with that, let's jump into some of the questions that I have here. So Jen, tell us about Crone. I think you gave us a little bit of an overview, but what are you up to Crone, and what should our audience know about Crone?
Sure, absolutely. So what we do, Craig, and that's a great question. And again, I can't say enough great things about you. In the short time that we've known each other, I feel like I've known you for years because we are so aligned in how we think about the channel and also what it takes to produce revenue and have a healthy relationship with your partners. And, I want people to know that this partner-powered revenue revolution, it really is just that. Because at Crone, my challenges are, how do I create more revenue? How do I make sure that Crone is market relevant? How do I make sure that our partners are fully enabled and that we're able to execute and really get our partners selling our solutions because we're a software provider? And then how do we make sure that the partners stay productive and that we actually have integrity and efficiency in our model? And so these are, to me, the 5 things that all channel leaders are trying to solve. And when I met Craig, one of the things that struck me the most is like how he's figured out the science on how we're trying to address all these, systemic issues that happen with these opportunistic partnering models, right, per se. And so when I think about what Crone is trying to do, we're trying to attract the right partners that can put our product forward, or that they can take their solutions and wrap it around Crone's privileged access management, our dynamic data masking, which basically we're able to secure data at rest and also in transit, and then also how you can secure passwords and other things. And so again, we specialize, our sweet spot is, again, making sure that your internal data is safe. right? And your access to applications or modules and devices, they are safe. And we can really secure and batten down the hatches when it comes to, making sure that people don't um, um, expose company data. So now back to the challenges of what I'm seeing. Again, it's really about partner enablement. It's also attracting partners and also doing this in a very structured way so that you have a systemic regular outcome of things. And this is why I like the partner powered revolution, because it gives you all these models and how you can drive structured partner source revenue growth. So I hope that answers your question, Craig.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was actually a great segue into that question, which is, essentially, what are your thoughts on the biggest challenges facing channel leaders today? And I think you addressed a lot of those. I agree with you on a couple of fronts. One, the ad hoc channel, the way that we've been going to market with all the structure at the front end with our partner programs, and as we get closer to the client, it really is kind of wild, wild west the way that we go to market out there. It's up to every partner with the way that they want to go to market. So there's no real recipe for how to go out and sell, and we haven't really created the production unit that we need.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is looking at everything as a production line process. How do we structure that go to market so that we can create predictable revenue growth? And I think those are the biggest challenges. And the models that we put in place today are really they are profitable. So we do a good job of creating profitability in many ways out of the partner community, and they do generate revenue. So I love that aspect. But the model we have is really inefficient. And as a matter of fact, I heard one of the thought leaders had mentioned that like Microsoft tries to surround every client with 7 partners,
Mm-hmm.
generate revenue. And does that work? 100%. Is it efficient? No. And that's where this problem comes in. Everything is moving to profitable, efficient growth, and we're trying to address that challenge with the MP3 model. So just a quick, let me kind of give people a quick overview. I think most people that have watched the podcast probably know MP3 pretty well right now, but just from a high level, we really focus on this middle section of sales acceleration. So the entire model is data driven. It's about revenue planning right up front. So we take numbers, we then run them through a tool that we have, and we'll kick out all the sales metrics that are needed in order to ensure that you hit your revenue. As a matter of fact, Jen, I think you and I did a revenue plan using one of our tools, earlier. And then we have to produce a production process in the middle, meaning what do I want my partner sellers to do? How do I make sure that they are geared up to be a production unit in my production line process? And then how do I performance manage that third bucket, the strategy execution at the partner seller level? So that's what MP3 does. And then we layer over the top of that tools like Splash Metrics, digital selling, and Rings AI for AI level outreach. So with that, those are all kind of the leading things. So I want to ask you, how do you see structured performance helping revenue leaders solve the problems that we had talked about earlier?
Oh my gosh, this is just like a perfect question because, again, it's all about, you address this in your book, basically how to create leverage to generating proactive behavior. Because all of us in the channel, we want to make sure that the partner sellers really understand the product and that they're motivated to lead with these solutions that are profitable for their companies, but more important, easy for their companies, the companies that they're selling to grasp. And so, when you think about this, our challenge is how do we tap into um, uh, um, getting past a performance-based incentive and really incorporating these structured selling techniques because it becomes like an engine, like you described earlier. And that's what I love so much about this book, Craig, is it really gives the people that are have those 5 challenges that we spoke about earlier, it's really about how to maximize partner sourced revenue growth. You have to have this model in place. It is making it truly easy to utilize data. You can revenue plan, and then you basically give channel leaders this one-stop shop for how they can look at account coverage in a clearly defined sales development process. And I really encourage all channel leaders to read this book, get this book, and utilize the tools, because it really solves all the challenges that we discussed earlier.
Yeah, and by the way, I appreciate that plug. I'm gonna have to pay you some money on the side, Jen, for the kind words. But no, you know what? In all honesty, when I sat down, and this is about an 8-year process. I wrote the first book, Channel Force, which was really about how do I create a go-to-market planning process, to take a solution, run it through a structured process that teaches people how to sell. And that became kind of the production, blueprint for us to follow. But then I started front ending that with how do I build tools that tell me how many sellers do I need, and how many partners do I need, and how many outreaches do I need in order to make the numbers. So I started putting more of a channel ops and a rev ops front end to the process. And then I put together a process on the back end through a product called Performance IQ that measures the strategy execution of the partner selling community, so that I can bring together the metrics on the front end with the output on the back end to ensure that we're hitting the revenue. So to your point, we have full visibility to the entire execution. We have the ability to help people build a plan that ensures they're going to make their number, and they know what the KPIs are throughout the system, in order to go out and deliver. So I do feel like we've got something really unique, and something that I think is going to solve a lot of the issues with the channel today. So let me go to this next question. I know we're kind of coming down to it here, and it's a little bit of a leading question. But what's your experience been working with Channel Force? So what would you say about Channel Force as a whole to our audience?
Oh my gosh, let me tell you, this is like, it's like a secret weapon in terms of, helping you think past and beyond the way that we used to think from a program centric to actually developing a structured performance behavior for your partner program. And so let me tell you about Craig. Craig is one of the most brilliant men that I have ever met in my lifetime. He is thoughtful, conscientious, and always has his eye on the ball regarding how to make channel leaders sell more, sell better, and improve so you have efficacy in your efforts. We all know in the channel, we're all doing 5, 6, 7 jobs. But if you're able to really sink into what Craig is driving here with revenue revolution, it is a game changer. I personally, again, being in the channel for as long as I have, you think all these things. And the way that Craig challenges that thought process by saying, let me show you the benefits and the successful outcomes from thinking from program to structured. I mean, basically all your efforts, you're shifting your priorities. It's basically performance over opportunism, wishful thinking. Yeah, I hope this will happen. It makes you focus in on strategy enablement. Also, you can, again, like Craig was mentioning earlier, it gives you a way to have predictable revenue. And that is what are the leaders of any of these partner companies. That's what they want. They want repeatable revenue on a regular basis. And it completely displaces the 80-20 rule. It makes sure that every person, when you go through this model, is actually producing. And so I can't say enough great things about working with Craig, his really in tune brilliance on how to make my life easier as a channel leader. And so I would give Craig 4 good housekeeping seals of approval if I could. But all I can tell you, he's a class act. He really is invested in helping you be successful. And it's very this methodology is truly a game changer. So 5 stars, Craig.
Oh, hey, you know what, Jen? Honestly, that is the probably the most humbling comments I've ever heard. So I really do appreciate that, and I hope I can live up to that as people hear this. So, all right, last thing here. What should our audience expect from the book and the tools? I think you've covered a lot of that already, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, so what it does is what it's going to do is it's going to help you think through partner sales efficiency, right? And so when you think through this model, it turns it into, again, repeatable business, how you can reach those active sellers to drive market reach and growth. And so I'd say run, don't walk. Please get this book because it's going to make your life easier. It's going to allow you to come up with a complete strategy and make sure that you're completely efficient. It is a true process. It tells you how many partners you need in order to hit the number. It's like, basically, Craig does the math for you. This book, Partner Powered Revenue Revolution, it does the hard work for you in terms of developing sales plays, all the things. And so this is, again, a game changer for channel leaders. It basically makes sure that you have efficacy in your sales acceleration process with your partners. And so I can't say enough great things about this book.
no, I appreciate that. Yeah, and so you know what? Uh, Available. I launched it over the weekend. It's out, as I mentioned to you. I found a couple of minor spelling mistakes, so I've got to go out and get those things corrected. That's going to drive me nuts. So anybody that buys the book early, you're going to find 2 or 3 or 4 spelling mistakes, but I'm going to get those things corrected. On the ebook, there are no spelling mistakes. That's where I found them. So what is this book all about? It's all about trying to help people grow to 2x revenue growth at cost, and we're going to show you that structure. We're going to answer how to leverage AI for your outreach. We're going to talk about digital selling platforms within the book. We're going to show you revenue roadmap planning so that we build the metrics for how you go out and achieve your revenue. We're going to show you how to create active sellers and get those folks to prospect. We're going to talk about structured account coverage, strategy intelligence. So there's quite a bit that goes into this book. It really is the science of sales acceleration through partners that we're trying to create through this. So anyway, Jen, I really appreciate you. What great, kind words. I didn't expect all of that, but I feel the same way about you. You're such an amazing person. And I just thank you so much for all of your input. I didn't mention this earlier, but Jen was one of the folks that read through the book, helped give some content, some feedback, some thoughts, and some ideas around how to improve it. So I thank you so much for that, Jen. You've had the preview there, but you're amazing. I love working with you. I can't say enough things. Anybody that's looking for cybersecurity, reach out. Kron is an amazing company. They're really well known in Turkey and around the rest of the world. They're just breaking into the US. They're an amazing company. And anybody that wants to learn about channel leadership, Jen is a star. She would be a great person to get connected and know as well. So I'll pause there. Any final comments, Jen?
Yes, well, first and foremost, I really appreciate the viewers that have taken some time to, get to know you, Craig, the Partner Powered Revenue Revolution, how it's going to make their lives easier, and helps you think through, as a channel leader, your performance management with this new math, And so all I can tell you is, please, again, get this book. I definitely endorse Craig. I endorse his whole thought process and methodology because, again, he's really just thinking about how to make you better, how to help you do your job better, which is really delight the partners and really get them engaged. So, Craig, again, thank you so much for having me today. You're a wonderful human, and I just can't wait for the world to know how wonderful you are and that you're really here to help them be better and improve their sales. So thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Well, thank you.